Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized. If I sound a little bit funnier this morning, it's because I'm trying not to laugh because I am here with a guest today. Oh my God, I'm actually doing an interview. This is so crazy. In the 200 plus episodes of this podcast, I've only done one other interview, and that was years ago. And I'm doing it again today, and I'm doing it with one of my favorite people in the world, the marvelous Katie Chappell.
I feel honoured. Am I the second only ever guest?
Yeah, you fucking should be honoured. Like, golly gosh, wow. Look how lucky you are.
Crown.
Oh, yes, exactly. Crown. So Katie is a good human, and gosh, I'm going to be really good at introductions. I can just feel it in my bones already. Katie is a illustrator, but not just an illustrator. She's a live illustrator. So she does, no, you know what? I'm going to leave that to later. You're going to find out what live illustration is all about. Fuck it. Like, let's not like do a spoiler right at the start. Well, we can go into that. A live illustrator. And she also is famous on the internet, and she's also, you know what, let's just talk about it and let's find out all about you. I don't want to do any intros. Let's just find out who you are as a human. And I know Katie because she took some of my programs years ago at the start of the pandemic, and she quickly became one of my favorite students. And you might be saying, oh, Leonie, do you not have favorites? And I'm like, I definitely do, because one, Katie does what I tell her to do. Two, she tells me how it goes, and I fucking love that. Like, I eat that shit up. And she also like illustrated like her notes and like share them with me, and I was like, oh my God. And she's just such a cool human. So of course we're friends. So that's how I'm going to introduce you. And how do you feel about that, Katie?
That was a brilliant introduction. That was much better than I could have done myself, because I panicked there and thought you were going to say introduce yourself, and that's even scarier. So thank you.
It's disgusting. Yeah, when people say that, I'm like, I just talk shit on the internet. Like,
let me look at my own website and see what I wrote when I was in a good mood, because I can't remember.
Exactly, right? Like, and also like, I don't want to do an elevator pitch. Like, I'm not an elevator pitch girly. I'm like, if I meet you in an elevator, I either one, want to ignore you, or two, I want to hear every single deep, dark story of your life. Like, that's what I want in life. I want the elevator to break down, for us to be stuck in there for hours, and for just us to just have a soul bonding experience, you know?
Yeah. Well, actually, having been in an elevator with you, you announced to everyone that I needed roughage for my diet. Needed to get lots of roughage in, keep me regular. There was no elevator pitch. It was just digestion chat.
Okay, so I want to set the scene here. Katie did something so super brave, and she flew over to Australia earlier this year to come to a retreat with a whole bunch of our business friends who are mostly based in Australia. And Katie was our only international girlie coming, and flew all the way from England to Australia, which is one of the world's longest flights. It's 24 hours in flight time, basically. And one particular night we were riding an elevator together, and we were at the Gold Coast, and the Gold Coast is kind of a posh place. Like, it's a little bit la-di-da, a little bit fancy. And we're staying in a place that's a little bit fancy, and we got on a lift with some people who are a little bit fancy, and I was feeling a little bit frisky. And so I immediately decided to create like a little one-man show inside that. A little presentation of humour in that elevator. And I turned to Katie, who'd just gotten her DoorDash food delivery, and I was like, what did you get? What did you get, darling? What did you get? What food did you get to nourish oneself with tonight? And Katie shows me. I was like, oh, I'm so glad that you got some vegetables. You know, when you're traveling, you really have to keep that fiber intake up so the bowel movements continue. You know this. And Katie totally cottoned on to what I was doing and was like, you're absolutely right. That's exactly why I've ordered those vegetables. I could not be more proud of you. Like, you were going to stay so regular on this trip. And we walk out of the escalator at the elevator, and we walk around the corner, and as the doors are closing, we just hear the elevator erupting into laughter behind us.
I'm probably just like, what just happened? Who are those people?
And Katie just look at each other and we are on the floor laughing because they 100% thought we were serious, of course, and they couldn't contain themselves one moment longer, and it just brought so much joy to my life, and I'm sure so much joy to their lives. I'm sure they still talk about those girls who had really in-depth discussions about bowel movements on elevator, right?
Definitely.
You still think about it all the time?
I do. Every vegetable. Yeah, every
every Oh, it makes me so happy. Okay, we should talk not just about all the fun times we've had together, because we've had a fucking lot, but tell me what a live illustrator is. I know what it is, but tell everybody who's listening.
Yes. So a live illustrator is basically making visual notes at conferences, meetings and stuff like that. So I'll go to events and draw what people are talking about, and people get really excited and they'll say, oh, please draw me thin or make me look glamorous. And I'm saying, no, I'm probably not going to draw you. I'm drawing what you're talking about. So it's, if you've ever done drawing at school and you made like visual notes of things, it's like that, but a tiny bit more professional. And there's lots of different names for it. Some people call it graphic recording or live scribing or visual note taking or like graphic harvesting. There's loads of weird names for it, but it's just people talk, you draw, and then at the end it's useful. Actually, it's useful in the moment as well. But yeah, that's my job.
Oh, and what do they usually do with it, like while you're doing it? Is it like shoot it up on screens, or do they share it afterwards, or both, or...
Bit of both. Yeah, sometimes it's a big secret and they'll be like, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we've had an illustrator with us the whole time, and then they'll be like, ta-da! And that's really exciting because you feel like a secret spy during the thing, and then everyone is clapping at the end. But this year I've been completely remote. So I had my daughter in 2022 and I was off for maternity leave for, I think I took like 3 months, kind of. And then I was just getting really sick of traveling all the time and going, and I've just said that I've travelled to Australia. That was special. That was different. But like travelling to London, like every week, every other week.
It was for me. So we could do our bowel movements and elevators. It was really
totally
important,
different.
guys. It's just so different.
I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be travelling all the time. And I'd seen in lockdown, COVID and everything, that the remote totally worked and was totally doable. From January, I put my foot down and I was like, I'm only doing remote. I'm not going to do in person anymore. And yeah, I totally thought like, oh, nobody's ever going to hire me again. But oh well, like I will be happy. I don't care. But people have carried on hiring me and it's carried on working. So it's kind of blown my own mind that I could do what worked best for me and like people would still want to work with me.
Fuck yeah. And I mean, you've worked with like say big name companies, right? Like now's the time to name drop, Dolly.
Toot the horn. Yeah, yes. I worked for Google. Honk honk. I worked for Google, Meta, Twitter when it was cool before it turned into X. One of my
really
big names. So like,
it's really important differentiation, right?
Yes, 100%. And one of my big names, I made like a list in 2019 of people I'd love to work with, and Adobe were at the top of that list. And then the last year, the year before, a time they like booked me for 2 things in 1 month, so I've taken that off. And to be honest, when I take that off, I was like, I'm done now, I can retire. I've worked with the people that I wanted to work for,
with all of the peoples. Then we can set new goals for you, Dolly. That would be so fun.
That would be fun. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do
right
it
now. No.
Yes, let's go. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, me and Katie's brain works so well together. Like, if you leave us alone for a night and we're like, you know what, let's get crazy. What that looks like is us drawing up a business plan together. Literally happened.
Yeah, you're not even joking as well.
Yeah.
That's the worrying thing.
I know. And then I'm like, oh, you know what we should do? We should like brainstorm together. Let's
like, how can we optimize?
Delicious. It is exactly that. We get so into it. Okay, so let's do origin story shit. How did you become a live illustrator?
Oh, good question. So I was a normal illustrator from 2012. I did like my undergrad and stuff, blah blah blah. Couldn't make it work. Became a nanny. Thought, oh well, I tried. Never mind. And then eventually I was like, no, I'm gonna try again. And I did my master's degree in illustration. And I was like, if this doesn't work, nothing will. Because I just believed that the magic degree would get me places. But anyway, while I was on this master's, the great thing about a master's degree is they just let you do whatever you want, and they let you go down the rabbit hole, and they're just like, good luck, write about it when you come out. And somehow down this rabbit hole I discovered graphic recording. And well, initially it was war artists, so like artists that go to the front line and like will be in a war drawing what's going on. And I was like, that is so cool. Like, I love observational drawing and I love doing things on the spot. And at the same time I was like, I don't really want to go to war zones. Like, that's not my thing. Risk of death is too high, like being at home. But somehow in that rabbit hole I discovered graphic recording, and I was like, that's kind of the same thing, because you're going to a corporate boardroom and you're drawing on the spot. You will probably not die, and it's got the adrenaline, it's got the on the spot thing. I was like, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to see what it's like, because all the examples I could see, I was like, I don't know, man. It's designed to be very equitable. Anybody can do it. And I was like, but I'm an illustrator. Let me try it. So I like unequitabled it and made it back into a creative thing. But no, the very first event that I tried was at uni while I was studying there. They were having a sustainability event, and they were like, we need somebody to do visual notes. And I think they paid me in sandwiches, and maybe I got £30, which is like 60 Aussie dollars for the full day. But they also let me have professional photos of me doing it, which I've since learned is like gold dust. Like, professional photos of you doing the thing, chef kiss. People, it just communicates that you are a real person that can really do the thing. So anyway, long story short, I did that job. It went really well. I was like, oh my goodness, this is fun, and I enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure like maybe I could get paid more than sandwiches and an actual like decent amount. So that set that in motion, and it still took like 2 years after that for me to figure it out a bit more and learn about search engine optimization and kind of just go learn more about marketing, honestly, because I hadn't learned anything before that. I was just like, I must learn the illustration and be creative and do the craft. And what I know now in hindsight is that doing the creative side will only get you so far. And like, if this was a pie chart of being a successful illustrator, now I know what tiny slice drawing is. And like, there's so many incredible artists out there who just haven't learnt the marketing, which makes me really sad because that's such a big part of it. But if you do amazing stuff and you can't tell people about it, nobody knows about it unless you're lucky or somebody says, this person's amazing. So a big part of my career shift was like figuring out how to talk about what I was doing. And then it's like a positive cycle, because once one person finds your work, they tell their other people. And also on the internet, if more people link to you, your website looks more authoritative and all that. So the combination of me getting really interested in this subject of graphic recording and live illustration, learning about marketing, and getting obsessed with it, like really, I didn't just casually learn about it. I was like, I will learn all of the things, like give me the books, give me the courses, which is how I found Leonie as well. You.
Me.
And
Thank
you.
That's good to know. Good to know it's me.
You are Leonie. Yeah,
if you had another Leonie in your life, I would raze her to the ground, honestly.
Yeah,
good, because there's only one spot in your life for that. I was just thinking, having a master's degree, when you explain it like that, the freedom to go down rabbit holes, and they're like, good luck, write about it. I'm like the amount of moisture I gathered in my nether regions was immense. It just became a tropical rainforest down there. Like, that is the dream job, right? Is just rabbit holes, write about it. Rabbit holes, write about it. I feel like that's just what my job is now. Is like, that's what my career is. Rabbit holes, write about it. Teach about it.
Yeah.
Share about what you found in your fucking rabbit holes.
It's a total 1-3 dream, right?
So if
for anyone listening that's not in human design, your profile lines tell you different things about you, and me and Leonie have the same profile of 1-3, which is all about going really deep on a subject, mastering it, learning all the things. And the 3 is like trial and error, like learning by doing, sharing the mistakes so other people don't have to make the mistakes. And I think that's why we get on so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the
Well,
reasons.
one of many, many of the reasons. Many of the reasons why. You know, like, it just like it's so freaking brilliant. Like the way that you just shared that though, like you was like, okay, I have this skill. Amazing. It's not working as a business. I'll go get more certification in that skill, and that's what will break through. And I think like that's just so common for so many, especially like healers and coaches. Like they're like, I'll just bring in this modality and that's what will be the breakthrough, right? And you're 100% right. It's that marketing thing that is a massive piece of the puzzle, and people don't want to do it because they're just like, oh, but I don't want to, I'm not a natural born marketer. I don't feel like, you know, that's scammy or whatever. And so it like, for me, it was such a massive part in my business journey to go, oh, I actually don't know how to market. Like that's just a skill I don't have. That's my marketing muscles are completely flaccid and I need to build them up. And so I love like hearing your journey. It's like, that's exactly what you were like, I suck at marketing. I need to learn this exact skill. And you just like did the rabbit hole thing, just like I did the rabbit hole thing. People were always like, how did you learn about marketing? And I was like, I did like all the books, all the courses, the blog posts, and then the big part, and this is like such a 1-3, if we're going to talk about human design, why not? But you got to implement like what you're learning. You got to try it and see if it works. Like you've got to experiment with that information as soon as possible. You can't just like hoard knowledge like a little dragon just sitting on its wisdom gems, even though I would love to. I would fucking love to
as well.
Oh,
Let
God.
me hoard them.
Oh, just the messages we send to each other sometimes. It's like, oh, I'm reading this book at the moment, or just start on this course, incredible. And it's like, oh, take me with you on that rabbit hole. I would love to go down that rabbit hole with you. Trying to con each other. You should come down this rabbit hole. That's a great one.
Even now, I'm like, is that book near me? The one with all the post-it notes that I could show? No, it's not here. You're safe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, God, I would love to, though. I would love to. So, what would you say are like the most formative, like books, courses, things that like really helped you, especially in the early stages of developing that marketing muscle?
That's a good question. So I think like the very first one that I ever did that really was like, oh, this is like changing my brain chemistry was probably Denise Duffield Thomas's Money Bootcamp to start with. And that was like a gateway drug for lots of other things. Because from there, I discovered your courses, which I just demolished all of. So like, in particular, I remember the money manifesting and multiple streams of income one. That one, I remember reading the sales page. I was on holiday in Berlin with my boyfriend at the time, now husband, and things were going well. Like I'd had a really big job. I'd worked for Nespresso like 2 months before, but their payment schedule was 3 months, so I had nothing in the bank because I hadn't thought about that, and I was just like, oh my God, like the holiday was painful because I was like, every single time I pay for something, I'm like, just going deeper into the overdraft. Or maybe it wasn't the overdraft, but it was like just near, and it was like too close for comfort. I'm very like,
especially as
financially,
accumulators. I
like to have a cushion. I don't like to be anywhere near anything going anywhere near the positive. Anyways, but I remember in the Ibis budget hotel just reading the sales page that you'd written, and I was like, it's $99, and I was like, oh, that feels like such a stretch, but also I like really know that this course will help me so much. And it was one of those ones where I feel like every single thing you learn in life, and every time you pay for a course, it pays back at least 10 times. Mm-hmm. But that one at the time, it was a very quick, like, do the course immediately. Because I think even you had a thing in the course that was like, earn back the cost of the course by saving money. And I just did the thing, and it was like, oh, look, I saved like £4,000. I was like, I can't remember, something stupid, because I was subscribed to so many ridiculous things I didn't even realise. Like ADHD brain had subscribed to all of the things and not looked at a bank statement.
We all do it. We all do it.
And I was like, oh, look at all these leaks in my banking that I just was ignoring. And yeah, I also loved B School. That was a big one.
Oh, that was an icon in the industry, wasn't it? I mean, is it still? I've just fallen off the radar.
Yeah, I mean, I still go back and look at it because I'm like, it's just foundational things. That I know all the things, but sometimes it's really comforting to just look at them and be like, yes, I'm still doing the things. Good, okay, nice.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's like the comfort pat. It's like,
A
you,
little pat on the
good
back, like,
business
good work.
owner. Have business foundations. Tick.
Yeah, it seems to be still going well. I don't know, but
Rock on. Rock on. Amazing. Amazing. We could probably just do an episode purely on just talking about like business gossip, like, industry gossip. Like, oh, what's that person up to these days? What do you know? What rabbit holes have you gone down?
And that's the thing, like, I could just keep doing this. I have to be wary of this because I could just keep doing courses forever and not do the thing.
DPS.
So I must watch myself for that because I'm like, have I just been learning things and not doing anything? And I'm like, maybe. And then
Did I not just like Instagram panic message you last week going, I think I've been learning too much and not enough do. Need to cut myself off from the learn, must do. And you're like,
it's a cycle, isn't it? It's like, here we are again. I'm learning too much and I must stop learning and create things.
Yeah, make the thing. Yeah. And, like live illustration, I know there was like a really pivotal time that you had to shift in your business when COVID started and all your income pretty much dried up overnight because you were going to a whole bunch of events and traveling a lot. And then all of a sudden conferences weren't happening in that way anymore. So can you talk about, one, how it felt like going through that enormous initiation, and two, what you did, like what you pivoted, because I feel like it ended up being one of the best things ever that happened to you.
Yeah, totally. So you're exactly right. I was traveling to places all over the UK. I was even going to the Netherlands, like doing international work, which was amazing. And I still had my lecturer job at university. But I was at the stage where I was like, you know what, it's busy enough that I could just like quit my lecturer job. I've got enough live illustration lined up. So I quit my lecturer job and promptly got an email one morning in March 2020 that was like, oh, our event's been postponed because there's like whispers of like a pandemic or something. And I was like, strange. And that just was the first email of like, blah, 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 blah. So many, like, it's postponed, it's cancelled, there's no event, we're sorry. And I was just like, oh my God, I just quit my job. And now all my live illustration has stopped as well. Like, what did I do? This is so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. And at the time, the university that I worked for were like, oh, everything's up in the air. Could you stay on remotely a little bit? And so they did that. I really wasn't a huge fan of the job at the time, but I was like, yes, that's good. A slight bit of security. And initially it was just like, I was panicking so bad because I was like, it was going so well. Now I have nothing. What am I going to do? I still have like my rent to pay and bills and all those things. So once I'd like stopped crying and calmed myself down, I realized that all these companies that I had been working for would still be doing events, and everything. But also in that crying time, one of my big goals had been to run an online course. And me and my two good friends, Helen and Tanya, had been talking about starting a course. We'd actually registered the business name at the start of January. We'd met up in February. And then this lockdown thing happened. We were like, oh no, is this good or bad? Like, is this the worst timing ever? Or is it good? And it turned out to be good timing because we all had loads of time, whereas we'd all been really, really busy before. And I had that break in work because I hadn't figured out my messaging yet. So what happened with live illustration is I tweaked my messaging. I was like, I can do online events. I can do the remote thing. And again, that started with a trickle, and then it was like whoosh, like hockey stick of inquiries hockey stick on a graph of inquiries because people were picking up on that. And yeah, we started the Good Ship illustration, teaching online courses. And one of the big things there, when I'd been commuting to my lecturer job, I'd been devouring your course and just like absorbing it all. And yeah, I remember Tanya message saying like, this is such a bad idea, oh my God. And that turned out to be such a powerful thing because Tanya's worries about people's objections helped me write copy that really tackled objections. And I didn't think of people thinking that, but because she'd thought of those objections, I was able to like sales page them, which sounds very
genius.
Crass, but it's not. It was very just like thoughtful, and it meant that we could make sure the course was useful and make sure that we actually looked after people that were really panicky as well.
I mean, it's so perfect, right? Having people who are more like overthinker, kind of warrior, like empathetic, because I'm not that person. Like, I'm like, it'll be fine, you know?
Yeah, I think like everybody needs somebody realistic to be like, have you thought about this? And I'm like, no, of course I haven't. I just thought everything was going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's not fun, we'll have a nice time while we go there, you know? It'll be just a nice adventure. It doesn't matter. That's amazing. So, like, you know, I remember you so clearly, like, I think you'd like reached out to me by that point because like you'd done some of my courses and then you started doing 40 days to create and sell your e-course, and you maybe Instagram DM me or something and like reflecting on what you'd learned, and you'd be like, oh my God, that bit so helped with this part and this part and this part. And it was like just so fun. So I ended up, you know, we started like messaging back and forward around that time as well, which was awesome. And like, it was just so delightful. You like just creating this new income stream, going like, it was, you know, like the idea had been there, but then it was like, I need to pivot and I need to pivot hard and going full in, because like that whole business took off, and it took off wildly. Like Good Ship Illustration is huge now. And it forms like a really large part of your income source, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much 50% of my income now.
Wow.
Yeah. And my live illustration income also kept going up. So it's mad, really. I think at this, we did a total up the other day, and there's been over 5,000 students through the doors. And that's in, what is it, 5.5 years. So it's chugging along nicely. And I've had a baby in that time. We've got married. So like life has been happening as well. And I like taking August and December off. And in the Good Ship, we all slow down in August, which is really nice because we sort of force each other to take a break. And in December as well, we're like, okay, holiday time.
Holiday time.
Don't look at emails.
Yeah, no emails for you. And like, I really like, I just think you're such an amazing evidence as well. Like, you know, we all have that like starving artist mentality, and like, you know, we're born into that mentality, like into that cultural identity. And I always love pointing out to people, you know, the clear evidence of where that is 100% not necessarily the case, and that you can craft your own destiny, because you now have like a 7-figure empire when it comes to illustration, right?
Yeah, which is crazy, because I was also very sure like, oh, I love what I do. Guess that means I'll never make very much money. Better marry a rich man. Like that sort of, like, it's embarrassing to even admit that I felt like that. It's so recently as well, like 6 years ago. Yeah. Now I get excited about learning about investing and stuff. Who am I?
Yes, you are the rich man. It's like Cher says, it's like, Mom, I am the rich man. I don't need to marry a rich man. My husband is my wife. He's my trophy wife. I'm always saying to my husband, like, I always want to get him a T-shirt that says trophy husband. And he's like, absolutely no, that is not happening. And I'm like, but it's kind of true though, right? That you have the rich man wife.
It'd be gorgeous. No.
Right? I know. I should get him and Cameron matching ones. They would love that, like the shy introverts they are. They don't want to step down like that.
I would categorically hate that, yes.
Absolutely hate that. Both of them together would hate that. They're not going to talk to each other about it because they're introverts. They don't need that in their lives. It's like, I have to tell you, okay, the neighbours next door, they asked for my husband's phone number, and he was like, no, just use my wife's. And like, no, we'll let us know your number so that we can contact you in case like of emergency or whatever. He's like, no, just my wife's phone. And he said to me afterwards, like, they just don't get it. My phone is not for public consumption. Like, it is a burner phone. It is for you and it's for the children. That is all. Like, I don't want to be contacted on my phone. And
it's like a walkie-talkie for you.
That's exactly what it is. And I'm like, oh my God, I have married Nick from New Girl. I really have. Like, just like like, are you as obsessed with New Girl, or have you not got into that
I've
obsession?
Seen it. It's a long time ago now, but yes.
Yeah, I just did a rewatch and it's magnificent. It's actually better on the rewatch, so I highly recommend that if you felt like a little enjoyment rabbit hole.
Where did you watch it? Because I haven't. Where would you even find this?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have control of the remotes in my household, so I don't know where things are. I just know that they get presented to me. Excuse me, servant.
Yeah.
I want
Make
to watch
the new girl on.
on the show, on the television, okay? You manage all the subscriptions, you manage where all they go, and you manage to what TV work. Not for me. Not for me. Okay, I'm glad we had that. That was an important chat. So, if you had advice for people like just starting out in a creative business, what would you say to them?
So many things. So many things. So if you're just starting out, like knowing what you want to do is really important. And it's difficult because when you're starting out, you're like, I'll just help everyone. The more anyone can work with me, I'm open. But it's the sooner you get clear on who do you want to work with, what kind of things do you want to do, any clues that you can give yourself and the universe, if you're into that, just helps it direct it towards you, because it's like, oh, she wants that. Okay, there you go. And I'm not sure how much of it is the universe and how much is it just like reticular activation, like you've told yourself you're looking for that thing, so you look for it. Big word. Did you enjoy that big word?
Yeah. Moist again.
But just that, like, I think, and you can call it niching, you can call it, picking an ideal client, whatever. Just, decide what you're doing and do that. Yeah.
Useful. And in terms of your like mindset, what is like, how do you keep yourself like in a good, like that, that whole philosophy, like that whole energy of, I can do this, I can try new things, even if it doesn't work, it's fine, I'll just pivot. Like, how do you, obviously, like, part of it is crying and having breakdowns and then having breakthroughs in that breakdown, like, as part of your COVID initiation. But what other things that you, like, do you need to do in terms of rituals, or, like, whether you use kinesiology, or what's all of your practical and woo ways of, like, staying in the right...
So practical stuff, I really like alone time. I'm a massive introvert, love recharging my batteries, being by myself, nobody needing me or interrupting me. So for me, getting up early, I get up early anyway. So like people are like, wow, you get up early, but like I would be up anyway. But I get up early and choose to do useful things with my time. So that's like reading, just a brain dump, journaling. That really helps a lot. And for me recently, like learning about human design, I've been really obsessed with human design, but just knowing more about my design. So I'm a projector and I've got emotional authority. So there's the emotional waves, and just knowing that about myself has been so helpful, because it means that I feel things really deeply. And if I'm really excited or really depressed, I'm like, I can just kind of sit through this and I know that my emotions will calm down. I can sort of ride the wave. And yeah, things like journaling, tapping really helps, EFT. Big on tapping, and pretty much most days we'll tap on something. Yeah, like especially because of the I feel so many emotions. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I just need to go and tap on this, or yeah, anything like that. And for me recently, so social media, I really enjoy social media. I love using it. I love posting content on there. I feel like it flexes a creative muscle, and I have so much fun communicating and things. And I feel really exposed sometimes, and sometimes people leave mean comments, and that really, I'm like, oh my god. And I have to remind myself that the internet is like the internet, and I am not the internet, and there's a barrier of real world and internet. But yeah, tapping helps a lot with that as well, because otherwise I could get really sucked into the algorithm or something.
And it's also exciting, like part of that is you brought out you created a new business, which I just think is such a brilliant fucking idea. So, you had all of these inquiries coming in, and like for jobs, because you're like becoming the expert in that category, and your search engine optimization is great, and just also all the companies that you've worked with. So people would reach out to you, and you didn't have capacity to be able to take on all those jobs. And you did what was fucking brilliant, was like, instead of just saying no to them, you're like, I could make money from this. So tell us how you did that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trial and error in this as well. So the first iteration of this was, I'm gonna set up an agency. Let's get some illustrators and we can scale and have a big team and we're gonna send illustrators to all these jobs. So I went creating SOPs, like standard operating procedures. I had my VA, I hired 2 salaried staff members, we had 24 illustrators on the books. So on paper, amazing. In my real life, oh my goodness, so stressful, do not recommend, didn't like it. And there was one day where I was driving home and I just like the fleeting thought of like, if I died, I wouldn't have to answer any emails. And then I was like, noticed myself thinking that. I was like, okay, we need to like figure something out here because this is not working long term. Like, fair enough, but that's the thing, we weren't even actually making more money. We're making more revenue, but the costs were so much higher because I had staff and illustrators to pay that the profit was lower. So that piece of data, coupled with my thinking dying might be a nice relief from my inbox. I wasn't suicidal, I was just tired. That was like, okay, let's figure something else out. So like short term, I was just like, just say no to everything. I'm gonna like go from salaried staff to contracted freelancer staff, tell the illustrators things are changing. I don't know how it's changing, but I'm just not going to be sending you any jobs probably. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to travel anymore. Let's go just online only. And then in January, there was a job that came in and I put it on my Instagram story. I was like, I can't do this. Like, somebody else wants this job. And my inbox was like, so many people. And I was like, interesting. And then another job came in. I was like, I'll put this one on my Instagram story as well. And again, the same thing happened. I was like, people want jobs. I don't know why I hadn't seen it before. I was like, this is a thing. Like, I have lots of jobs in my inbox every day because of all the work I've put in and all the things I've figured out. And I was like, maybe there's a way I can like share these jobs with other illustrators who are interested. And it's very specific jobs because it's live event illustration. A lot of it's in the UK because that's where I am. So I made this thing. I was like, I'm going to do an experiment. And I was very blunt. I was like, it's not going to be for everyone. It's just like, it's basically live illustration in the UK. There's occasionally other jobs. There won't be remote ones because those are mine. And, you know, you're not guaranteed a job. It's not magic. I can't control what the client does. And yeah, that experiment has gone so well. It was a total, it blew my mind because it was very much like, I think I got to a place where I was like, I don't care what happens. Like, I just know that I've got loads of these jobs. People want the jobs. I got my VA, Emma, who's been with me since 2020, is amazing. She's so organised. I was like, could you put these jobs on the board for me when they come in? I was like, this is a decision tree of what I think is a dream job for me. And if it doesn't hit all those boxes, it goes on the jobs board. So that was incredible because it meant I was like lying on the living room floor with my toddler like standing on my face and stuff, and then I'd just hit my phone and be like, oh look, we posted 3 jobs on the jobs board today, how cool is that? I didn't even do anything. I was just like being trampled on by a toddler. But the flip side is I get messages. So today I had 2 messages from different people saying like, I got a job from the jobs board, thank you so much. And another lady did my live illustration course, and she was like, I did your course, implemented everything you told me, and I've got my first job from my website from a stranger. And I was like, yes, that's so good.
Genius. That is genius. So you said, and like, because it's an experiment, you set it up on Substack, right?
Yeah.
Did you just do that because you were like, fuck it, that's just the easiest way to run a membership model as a test?
Yeah, and I had a Substack anyway, and I was like half-heartedly using it, occasionally writing businessy illustration things and talking about good ship on there. So I had like 3,500 followers subscribers. So I was like, meh, there's people there anyway. See how it goes. And yeah, because of the subscription thing, it was like the least resistance. I was like, I know I can just put like boop, put a paywall, put the things behind the paywall. And other people had jobs boards. So there's a few writers' jobs boards, and there's a photographer's one. And my friend Claire Venus, who's like Substack expert, she was like, these guys are doing jobs boards. It would totally work. And I was like, oh, it would. You're right. So
genius. I love Claire. She's a fucking good egg, isn't she? She's such a good egg. Yeah, Claire's like she's a Substack genius. She's like one of the experts in it. And if you're in the Academy, Claire has a guest workshop on Substack. And if you're in the Academy, Katie also has a guest expert workshop on making visual notes. So, Jesus Christ, I am really nailing this as well.
Look at that. 10 out of 10.
I was like, hang on,
wait a minute.
I've already done stuff. So, I mean, that was like, huge. And like this, like the job spot, I remember like the night that we were hanging out and I was like, do you want to just like make a plan to like how we could double the job spot? And you were like, yes. And I was like assertively drawing up our plan and just having the best night ever while doing it. Genius.
It's my kind of party.
It was exactly my kind of party. We sang to Alanis Morissette quite a bit and we giggled quite a lot, and then we drew up a lovely business plan in visual format because that's what we do. Like, we are not written thinkers, we are visual thinkers. So now, did I see that like the job spot is closed to new people at the moment? It's on wait list. Is that what's happening?
Yes, another experiment, but it got to a point where there was nearly 400 subscribers, paying subscribers, and I was like, if I was a client, I would not want 400 people applying to every job. And I was like, I know not everybody applies, but I was like, technically 400 people could apply and that would be awful. And I've been reading Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley.
Oh, yeah.
In full-on nerd mode, like post-it notes, writing everything.
Please,
really,
girl.
Really enjoying it.
Please, God, can you send photos of that to me later?
I will. That was the book that I want to show you. I would be like, look at this. But he was talking about, like, what's your capacity number? Like, how many people can you really make happy? And how many people could you actually look after well? And I was like, the current amount feels like a cap. And also I want people in there to know that it's like there's some kind of quality control. It's not just for everyone. And it felt like a good time to put the price up as well. So I just kind of combined all those things and I was like, when it hits 400, the price goes up / it closes. And that happened within like a day of me posting that, which was also mad because I was like, these are my experiments. What's going on? Like, what's happening? I'm just messing around. But it felt really nice. And I was able to be like, okay, close the container and just look after people who are already in there. And because it's a monthly thing, there is churn, so people leave. And my plan, again, I'm kind of experimenting, but my plan is when there's space for 30 more people, I will announce like, who wants to come in the space, and then close it again.
Nice. And it'll be at the higher price point at that point.
It'll be at the higher price point, yes.
Fucking genius. You know what I'm really frothing over? The fact that like you keep on like referring to everything as experiments, because like that's what I've been thinking to myself lately. Like, one, it's, you know, human design thing. Like, we need to, as people with 3 lines, we need to really embrace the experiment. And I even started, I was like, I really need to regard my business as a laboratory and just like have a, like just regard everything as an experiment, just to like keep that energy, like excitement and fun, and just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just try new things. Because I feel like I've gotten into that habit of like going, oh, I've got this idea, I'll see if anybody else is doing it and see if it's like a proven business model. Like, fuck me, Leonie, that's just the most boring batshit thing I've ever heard. Like, oh, I'll go see if somebody else is doing it. It's a proven business model. Like, you lazy mole, go experiment. I even started an Instagram account, and I haven't posted anything yet, but it's called the Leonie Lab, because I was just going to see if I was going to see if it like hit up my dopamine centers and if I would just like shit post and just treat it like an experiment. Yes, but I don't know. Maybe you can encourage me in that or tell me if it's a good idea.
Do it now. So? And also just like the posting where it's not like special. You know, when you're just like, do you remember how Twitter was in the olden days? When you just be like, blah, blah.
Yes.
Like, I used to tweet like diarrhea. Just be like, eating a sausage roll, guys. But I had such a good time and I had so many Twitter friends. Gone are the days of just like posting and not being like, what's a good hook? Like, what's the call to action? What's the strategy? Like, I think it would be so refreshing to not do that, which is also why I like Substack, because I feel like it's like ye olde blogging times, which I know you're a big fan of.
Big fan. I feel like I'm a little bit like adrift, because I feel like I was so fucking cozy in blog post days, and now I'm like, oh, now it needs to fit into this amount of word count. I've got to be concise and catch people. Like, not for me. I'm like an olden day typewriter lady.
Sad. Instagram is rude now as well. You post a reel and it's like, this reel's not performing as well because your non-followers are skipping before 3 seconds. I'm like, but my followers are staying. You're rude. Social media.
So rude. But your reels, like, I love your reels, especially lately, especially when you know, like with the illustration job board, you definitely did get some men with heart, like with hurt feelings that you weren't giving away all of your labor for free, and like sending in their thoughts about everything, just like a big old diarrhea post on why they think you should be doing everything for free, even if it costs you money and a lot of time in order to be able to do that thing for free.
Yeah, a lot of people were very upset, as if I was putting every single illustration job in the entire world behind a paywall as well. They were like, how could you do this? You're a hack. Yeah, I was like, I had to Google, like, is that a good or bad? And they were like, I think it's bad. Being called a hack. But I was like, maybe assume positive intent, maybe a hack's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a hardworking horse, you know what I mean? Like, you go out on a lovely hack. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think one of my big things this year is getting comfortable with people not understanding me. And I spent so many years of maybe my entire life actually making sure people understand that I mean well, or like restraining myself so that I don't offend anyone. And this jobs board experiment has been a really good lesson in, like, you know, somebody's offended, maybe lean into that, like, oh, you're offended, are you? And the irony of social media is that gets really good engagement, which in turn means people that are on the same level as you and can understand what you're saying, they see your work as well, and a few more haters, but they are just kind of amplifying you for the people who really want to hear what you want to say.
That is fucking genius. And I'm like, your posts, like, reacting to the men with their butthurt feelings were pretty funny as well, especially like using Sabrina Carpenter's song. What's the song called? I can't remember.
Man-child.
Oh, yeah, Man-child. And you give her the finger to the camera was just like, oh, that is perfect. That is the best thing that I've ever seen. Like, it was, and also because you're so cute as the way you do it, you're like, oh, like, it's just, oh, whoopsie daisy. Man-child. It was fucking adorable. And like those, like I saw those social media posts like going viral. Like it was just like huge engagement, a huge visibility. And the way that you held yourself through it as well was amazing, because like you really have to like regulate your nervous system around to a new level of visibility. And I think you've done that beautifully.
Thank you. No, that was a big one. And especially when people sent me messages with like screeds of writing and talking about how I'm such a bad person and I'm a horrible white lady that's gone mad with power. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I've been so misunderstood here. Like, I'm genuinely just like sharing jobs. You don't have to join. Just don't join. Just unsubscribe. Just block me. Like, if it's really upsetting you.
Yeah.
But your tapping helps a lot for that.
Yeah. Like, and also the person who was doing it was a white boy, and he was just like reaming out all of the, like, just really trying to weaponize social justice and saying that you were harming like this community, that community, because of the way that you were gatekeeping. And I was just like, oh, wow, like this dude is absolutely trying to just use all of the word sandwich in a way to shame somebody for paying for their work. Like, it was a fascinating, it was fascinating. And I think you dealt with it incredibly well. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right, is because social justice work, of course, it's really important to call out actual injustices. But when you weaponize that for things that are not like actual social justice issues, you just look like a fucking dickhead.
But again, it's that thing a bit like, you know, when somebody's just like saying, have you thought about this? Because it was helpful. I was managed, like, once I stopped crying, I was able to be like, hang on, is there anything useful in this? And from that, I was like, actually, yeah, I could offer free places to illustrators who, you know, haven't got access to whatever, or they're struggling. Or so, like, giving away 5 passes per month, so they get a month free, and it's like 5 times 12. I can't do maths. That many
60.
people per 60, thank you.
Yeah, I have a girl, an 11-year-old girl that I need to practice.
Oh, 12 times table, man, they're tough.
Oh, yeah, they are. Especially when you get to like the 7s, the 8s, the 9s. Damn, girl.
Yeah, you can't just do 2 and double. Yeah, that has been, so that really helped, because I was like, okay, let's take this rubbish thing and turn it into something good that benefits everybody. But then even then, I did that, and somebody messaged me. They were like, oh, well, I'm a paying subscriber, and I can't believe you're just giving this for free to somebody. And I was like, I literally cannot win. I cannot win.
Yeah, you cannot. You cannot. And it's like such like a great, like, it must be like a Buddhist cone. Like, one cannot win. Like someone will always be butthurt. Like I'm pretty sure Confucius said something about that. Like, yes.
Whatever you do, somebody's going to be like, I can't believe you did that. And I think that's been really relaxing to be like, okay, whatever I do, somebody will hate it. Fine.
Yes. That's such wise. That's very fucking wise. So to finish up, I wanted to ask you about your experience coming over to Australia. Like, you know, I just think it was such a brave thing. Like you hadn't met anyone except for, you met Denise in person, right?
Oh yeah, once at a book signing, which isn't real.
Whoa, that's not real. That's not real.
It's not real. No.
And then you like came over to Australia to spend a week with us, like masterminding. And what was that experience like for you? Like what were the big insights that you got out of that experience, of that like massive leap of faith?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely moments on the way where I was like, oh no, what am I doing? I just suddenly realised I don't actually know these people, really, in real life. Yeah, once I was there, it was so interesting just to kind of hear so many different business owners' perspectives, what they're going through, what they're working on. And I just feel like anytime I meet any other entrepreneur or business owner, we're kind of going through the same things, but maybe just at like a different time or a different level or something, like getting bored or trying to tweak things or getting frustrated that something doesn't seem to be working and should be, or like, yeah, that was fascinating. And just, yeah, I don't know, just like everyone's just normal humans, which is so obvious. Obviously we're normal humans, but like meeting people that you've followed online for years and be like, oh my God, and then, oh yeah, they're just normal. It's just normal. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There was a certain kind of magic. And was I wanted, like, because I'm so self-obsessed, was I different from the internet than when...
so much quieter and more shy in real life.
I know, baby girl. I know. It's a real adjustment, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you like flashing your bra and like twerking at the window. I was like, oh, she's so retiring and demure. I know. I'm just having a lovely little time with my cup of tea, sweetheart. What else was I supposed to do? What else was I supposed to do? I think it was just a magic time. And in some ways, though, I feel like it kind of ruined me a little bit going to that retreat, because it was, for me, one of the most perfect weeks of my life. And it felt like such an enormous relief that I was finally in a room with people where I could talk about everything that interested me. Like we can so seamlessly talk from parenting to marriage to books to sex to, to opt-ins to Facebook ads to like dealing with difficult clients to staffing, like the whole gamut. And then like I genuinely, I think I felt a little bit lonely, like coming back to my own little life and going, oh, in my real life, I don't, like in every day, I don't have people that I can do the full gamut with, like the full range of talks with. So thanks for ruining me. Yeah, it's okay. Spoiled you for a week.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like that. I think in real life, especially in a small town, you kind of have to pretend to be normal.
Yeah.
In the real world. And then you can go back to your computer like, here I am doing my real work. But nobody really knows what your real work is. But I'm lucky I've got Helen and Tanya in the same town. But
oh, that's nice. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
But Australia, I felt like Australia, all the food was delicious and everyone was really nice to me. And it got to a point where I was like, I just need somebody to be really sarcastic and mean to me. And I want some horrible food, because it just like, my internal like adjustment, I wasn't adjusted to that level of niceness, everything being nice. I was like,
Yeah. You'd really hit your upper limit problem here.
It was, yeah. I was like, I need cloud.
Oh, well, I wish you'd told me that, because I could have been a lot meaner to you.
Yeah, next time.
Next time. I'll keep that as a little note. Like, Katie needs to feel at home by having someone just be like a real jaded asshole to her.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm like, the full service friend.
So kind.
Yeah. Talk about bowel movements in escalators and then
mild abuse.
Yes. And feed you some like stodgy sausages or something. I don't know. And I mean that like not in a sexual way. I want to be clear about
I was
that.
specifically craving like a cheese toastie where the cheese, so like 2 horrible bits of white bread and the cheese is like slipped down out of the toastie, and then it's been toasted and then left to go cold, and the cheese is just in a little puddle and in a little cardboard. Yeah. And be charged like £8, which is $16 for it, and then be like, thank you so much for my toastie. And then when I got home, that's exactly what I got, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. Everything's bad again.
Everything's bad again. Home. Everything's bad again. It's so comforting.
Know where I am in that situation. It's Britain. It's like a disease, a national disease. We just need things to be bad.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And then you come to Australia. Are you going to come back next year?
I feel like a yearly visit is pushing it on the old.
Every 2 years.
Maybe every 2 years or 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll reevaluate.
All right. Well, I'll be devastated if you won't be there, but that's okay. I'll hold it because I'm stoic and I'm an emotional fortress.
Yes.
Just kidding. I will share my feelings everywhere. I'll Instagram DM you about it.
Do. I'll enjoy that.
My queen, thank you so much for spending this time with us. Where should people find you all the ways on the internet?
Well, you can come and leave hate comments on Instagram. No, don't, please. I've had enough of those.
It makes her feel at home, guys. She needs to feel confident.
On Instagram, at Katie Draws. My live illustration.
Like she draws, not like you're looking into her drawers.
Yeah, and not like old-fashioned pants. Yeah,
that's right.
Drawers.
Yeah.
And then the live illustration website is katiechappell.com, and the Good Ship Illustration is thegoodshipillustration.com. Yeah, that's all the places.
Amazing. And you're reading oversubscribed at the moment. Is there any other books or rabbit holes that you want to leave us on?
I've started going to the library, which is very wholesome, and I'm reading I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue, and it's like gossip in a book. I'm actually loving it. Yeah, it's good.
I love that.
What are you reading?
Oh, what am I reading? I usually finish books in one day, so like it's not like a multi-day event. That's only for slow. No, I'm just joking.
I'm just like, no. Seems legit.
Okay. In terms of what I've just read, like just finished reading, I just read Hanging by a Thread by Erin Deering, and it's the story of an Australian entrepreneur who created Triangle, which is a bikini brand, and it turned it into like a multi-million-dollar enterprise, which was fantastic and also like really intense because she doesn't hold back like how shit things get, which was brilliant. I love that. Chef's kiss. And I also just read Of Gold and Dust by Samantha Wills, who's another Australian entrepreneur who created a jewelry brand that went massively global, and then she decided to shut it down because she was kind of having a mental breakdown. So also fantastic book. I'm just like on a real like female founder memoir burn at the moment, just like, just feed me all your stories of when shit gets bad and like things don't go to plan and then you just navigate it anyway, like that's just really fueling my fire for whatever reason. So that's just some things to add to your TBR pile, your to be read pile.
That pile is too big, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, same. I feels you. Thank you, my love. You're the best. And everyone should go follow Katie. She's such a fucking beacon of like all the possibilities that you could do as a creative and as an entrepreneur and all the things. So you should try and make her your friend as well. But you can't take my position in the friendship thing. I'm really protective over it. Like I've got to be quite high up that tree. You're like, I want to be in like your top 10 list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I in your top 10 list?
I'll make sure nobody... If someone's getting close to knocking you off the list, I'll tell you about it. So you can.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's thank you. Just and then I'll sabotage that because I'm such a chill friend.
So relaxed.
All right, I'm going to end it there because that's how I know how to finish interviews. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
press the stop button. Fuck you.
I don't know.
Where's the stop? Stop.